But yeah, I asked Rumpus to contact me over Skype, but he's not doing it. So I think that Rumpus is just really a pretender actor, scaredy cat, who, when he's actually seriously invited to do something, just refuses to do it.
Hey, Travis.
Hello.
Hey, Travis.
Hello.
Oh. Oh.
3 minutes.
Man. I haven't smoked cannabis for 3 days now, and I don't like it.
You don't like not smoking it?
Yes.
I had my first experience 2 nights ago.
What?
I said I had my first experience 2 nights ago.
What experience?
Cannabis.
Really?
Really?
Your first?
My first, yes.
Holy shit. Okay.
It was interesting.
Yeah, it is.
I met with Jibby Jedi.
Yeah.
So we were up in just outside of Boston at my stop during the week, and so he and I went out for pizza and beer, and afterwards he shared something with me.
Nice.
And yeah, so my mouth got all dry. He drove me back to my truck, and we imbibed, and then he left, and so it was over pretty quickly in terms of just smoking through it. So I didn't get anything right away. It was the after effect, right? So like 10, 15 minutes later, I started feeling funny. I'm like, okay, here it comes, right? My mouth was dry, and so I'm just laying there because it was like 10:30, and I'm just going to go to bed. But I felt like I was in a dream state, that I was like halfway between being awake and being asleep. And so I was like trying to have cognitive thoughts, and then I just started giggling.
Yeah, no, well, that's typical. Like, you go into a dream, but if you really try to focus, especially in the start, you just go all over the place. And unless you are really trained to think while under influence, otherwise you get the typical, wait, I lost what I was talking about. That happens to everyone. But yeah, the dream state. For me, what it does is it basically enhances my interface with my imagination capabilities. And I'm trained to do that, so it just gives me like a workshop.
Yeah.
I can do that normally, but now it just goes really fast.
Hey, Anthony.
That's different.
Yo. Are we live?
Rubbish mic again. Got a rubbish mic situation again.
What?
Live in 30 seconds if you want to drop and rejoin.
It's a rookie mistake. You hate to see it.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live, and there's also a PayPal link in the info box below the video. Most importantly though, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Sleeping Warrior, Travis, Jose and Arwin.
Woohoo!
Good afternoon.
Cuckoo, cuckoo.
Good to have you all. Should we dispense with housekeeping?
Go on.
Amen.
Dispense with, you mean drop it?
Yeah, because I got sent very early this morning a message from Betty, and she was like, this is what happens when Sleeping Warrior goes into the Discord chat. And then there was a list of a whole, like, loads of people that were in there, one of them being Jose. So I had a brief chat with Anthony about this earlier, but I just wanted to get Jose's take on it. So how was it yesterday? I understand it went on for quite some considerable time, Jose. That's right, Nathan. Yeah, we chatted for hours.
Jose,
Yeah, I'm up. Yeah, it was really interesting yesterday. I checked in I was checking in to see on the Discord world, and I see all this list of people. And I thought I was looking at the Gym Pandas Discord. I go like, wait a minute, this is the Betty Discord. All these 20 people in there, and I see Sleeping Warrior in between. So I check in, and I hear them all, question and answers and going on, and it was like, oh my God, Sleeping Warrior stood his ground, and he was going back and forth, and I had to try to moderate a little bit, like, dude, talk and let's talk, and speak and let's speak, and everybody was getting talk over everybody. It was crazy. So kudos to Sleeping Warrior. He stood in there for hours.
Is that your first time where you've seen them lot being the way they are? Was that the first time you've seen them?
No, not really. But at least against you were patient. You didn't get aggravated. You didn't disrespect. But you were yelled at and you were called names and you were just chilling in there. Just taking it all in and just answering.
So that was the first time that you saw me getting challenged, right?
Yep. Well, because I seen you once or twice in Isa Mahosky with talking, I think is with Jim Panda and somebody else, but that was you versus 2 people, not versus 19 people,
Well, there was about, how many people was there? Probably about, what, 12?
I think it was 20, counting myself, you, and Debbie. So we were the only 3 flat earthers. And then it was Shroomy, which Shroomy is in between or whatever, and then the rest were Glovers. So there was 17.
17 people, right? And they were like, it was like that scene on Airplane, where that woman starts shrieking violently in the plane, and they all queuing up to attack her. Well, I was that woman. They were all queuing up, right, literally. And in the end, it got to like 4 in the morning, and I'd done enough by then. I was ready for bed. I mean, I should have gone to bed at kind of like midnight, but by 4 in the morning, I'd done enough, and I only needed half an excuse. And Channel Q was in there, and I'm not a particularly big fan of Channel Q at the best of times, but she was actually like okay. She was amiable, so she wasn't like droning horrible tone that she uses that I thought would instantly drive me crazy. But Paul Voigt turns up, and Paul Voigt obviously has got an outstanding claim that we want evidence for, right? And it's to do with the seismology and the Curie temperature and the molten iron core. And Paul basically started in his typical smarmy, arrogant, horrible accent that literally gave me a little bit of sick in my mouth. He started saying that I'm too stupid to understand the evidence, right? So I was just like, all right, it's time for me to go to bed, gents. It's 4 in the morning. Paul's being a prick. I'm off. So I kind of left. But yeah, there was loads of them in there. And for me, the most important or the most interesting piece, Jose, I sent you a message with the timestamp. Did you get a chance to look at the timestamp that I sent to you?
Yes, I was just looking at it before I jump in the panel. That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Now, one of the key things.
Hello.
Ooh,
Hey, Unorthodox. How you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Unorthodox, are you going to speak?
He has. He said hello.
Well, what about the other guy?
He said hello too.
The other guy spoke.
All right, okay. One of the key pieces for me, I mean, there was lots of things that were said, and it was spitballing. There was lots of little points that were made, but one of the big key points was that I asked Soundly specifically, did he ever say, when he got his Earthshine pictures, did he ever say that he did not get RAW files originally? Because he originally claimed that he didn't have enough space on his SD card, so he didn't get RAW files because they're too big. And I laughed at him. I said, that's a lot of nonsense. I said, if you were going out there to do what you were doing, you would take a clean, fresh, full maxed out SD card. You wouldn't run there with half the card missing because you've got photos on it. So I was like laughing at him. 2 weeks later, he turns up with what is now CR2 files, raw files. And I was like, I thought you said that you didn't take any of these. And then he come up with some excuse for why he now had them. So I asked him point blank last night. I said, did you originally state that you did not take any original raw file photos? And he said, no. So I said to Jose, because Jose was listening at the time, I said, right, there's the timestamp where he said that he did. Now, the video that I sent to him, literally, you can hear him saying to Bob on Globebusters, I wish we'd have got some raw photos, but we didn't have it at the time because we would have got more clarity from them. He didn't have them at the time. But then 2 weeks later, he pops up with them. 2 weeks later, he pops up with them, and then obviously Earthshine's all over them, and we're like, you said that you didn't even have them. So, I mean, all the points that were being made, for me, that was the biggest one. Soundly did not take raw files originally, but then turns up with them 2 weeks later and basically bitched about me being doxing him. But the problem he had was that when he had these files, he'd accidentally left his name in them, right? Well, when we'd gone through them to see how good they were, how credible they were, we realized that they were fake, but we didn't know whose file they were. We didn't know which camera or who owned the copyrights to them. So I had to ask the question, well, who is this person? And he claims victim status now because he got doxed, right? But I needed to know who owned the copyright because it was that camera that took the picture, right? And it was Soundly's. So now Soundly's claiming that he now does have raw files after previously stating that he did not have them. And we're expected to just accept that this is acceptably true. And it's completely not. If you were there at the time and you had like raw footage, then you would have been using raw footage. You wouldn't have been using JPEGs. And this is basically it's just black and white proof that Soundly's a liar. And all of his work's fake. And that's my position. And it always will be. And it's never going to change.
Oh, by the way, talk about Soundly. I was looking again through the comment section of the CBS article where Patricia has had her interview. And that comment section just keep on going. And I've actually seen people putting Soundly's video and pictures of it as proof of the curve in there. So it's fascinating to look at.
I'm just glad that Jose saw me in full chatter against like 10, 15 of them because they don't come in anymore. And they were blatantly, overtly saying that they don't want to come in because they don't want the show to be successful, right? They hate the show. They probably hate Nathan to some degree as well, but they don't want this show to be successful. That's why they're keeping away. And on that basis, I mean, at the end of the day, they're getting rattled, these guys. They're getting the bum smacked.
Fuck. Hold on. We're getting troll invaded very seriously.
I'm just trying to open it.
Not.
Yeah, we are.
No, you're not.
No,
No.
Earth Flatner got this. Earth Flatner got
sorting it out. Don't worry, Arwin. Just let it slide.
I think I accidentally kicked Unorthodox.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
He's
there were
Unorthodox.
like 6 trolls coming in all at once.
Oh, sorry, Unorthodox.
Sorry, Unorthodox.
That was accidental.
I still can't get the window open. I'm trying to get the back chat window open, but it's not opening. But I'm just glad that Jose saw it in full chatter because that was like as many sticks and stones that could come my way. That's what was happening. And I'm glad he saw it because basically they've got nothing. They think they've got something and they go around in a gang pack mentality where they try and bully you into admitting or agreeing that it's a ball.
It was at least 12 of them. It was at least 12 of them talking because there were 6 or 7 just quiet, just listening. And then it was me, which, I mean, I cannot, I'm sorry, I wish I can, but I cannot defend you a lot. I was trying to intervene and keep it like, cool, like, hey, come on, let him answer or let him speak because they were just talking all over you. They didn't even let you answer the questions. It was boom, boom, boom. One in top
I got
of the
kicked.
other.
I don't know if it was an accident.
That was an
or
accident.
not.
It was an
That was an
accident.
accident,
Sorry.
Okay. Well, I'm back. Don't kick me. I know you guys.
Loads of trolls came in all at once, and you
Oh,
just got caught in the crossfire. That was all.
Yeah.
I thought you guys.
It was
I thought
right
you guys
over
were
it and
scared
then
of the
you said-
intellect.
And let's be honest, it's no correlation with the fact that I'm ripping Soundly's ass a new one, literally, by showing that Jose was there. He heard Soundly say that he did not, or he heard Soundly say that he did not say that he didn't take raws, right? I asked him that point blank, and he said, I did not say that. And there he was telling Bob on Globebusters that he did not take raws, and he wishes he would have done. 2 weeks later, raw photos turn up, and we all got cry foul. And somehow, like he plays the victim card, and it's like you guys are utter morons. But they seem to worship him, and it's like, what the hell? The guy's literally lying through his teeth to you right now, but they just don't want to accept it.
Yeah, but what do you think he wants to...
After you left yesterday, Riley, I stayed for maybe half an hour, and it was all these crickets and silence, and then it was probably soundly. Channel Q threw a little comment or two at me, like asked me a few questions, and it was just soundly talking with me, you know. It was a nice conversation, but nothing like the interaction you had. I was just listening.
Did Paul Voigt stay or did he leave?
He stayed. They all stayed for the half an hour that I was there, and then I left and I went to sleep. I don't know.
Paul Voigt's got outstanding evidence that he now claims he's got, but he doesn't want to give to us because he thinks that I'm too stupid. His words were that I'm too stupid to understand it, right? But it's imperative to the claim that we live on a sphere, because if we've got a multi-line core, then we need to see this evidence because it's your assertion, guys, and he doesn't want to give it. And I call nonsense. He's either not got it or he has got it, but he doesn't say what he wants it to say. So, Paul, you're a liar. You're literally a liar.
Sleeping Warrior, you are just destroying everybody today.
Well,
you mean to tell me you don't believe Soundly's photos are real?
No, they're fake, mate. They're fake. Why do you believe?
Well, I don't know.
Not fake, modified, tampered,
modified,
falsified.
That's fake. That's fake.
Yeah, but fake could be anything. It's real footage, but it's been modified somehow.
Yeah, he inserted some kind of overlay on the red channel in his photographs to provide evidence of Earthshine on the solar eclipse, and nobody else got it right, but apart from one bloke, and I know who the bloke is. It's the same bloke that Miles got his dodgy photos from. So Miles Davis got dodgy photos, which are obviously dodgy. Soundly's were better quality than the ones that Miles Davis pushed, but Soundly and Miles both pushed dodgy photos, both of them, and they're demonstrably dodgy, but they will still defend them because they can't admit that they're basically black. They've got to defend them. And Soundly said that he did not take raw files originally, did not take raw photos originally. And when I asked him last night, he said that, no, I never said that. Point blank asked him that question, and he did say it. And then I showed Jose in the kind of hangout where he told Bob it. The guy's a liar. He's literally lying through his teeth, and you guys, ballers, will just accept it because it's Soundly. It's nonsense. The guy's a liar, and I told him to his face last night, and he'll always be a liar. So
maybe he just misspoke. I mean, just because he didn't get his facts perfectly correct doesn't mean he's necessarily doing it to deceive you. He could have just misspoke, you know.
Really? So you're going to make excuses for him, right?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, he could have just misspoke.
Your correct position is you don't know because you weren't there, and you have to go based on the evidence that can be presented. That's your correct position. You weren't there. You don't know what was said.
Yeah.
Right. So
that's right.
I asked him point blank last night, did you say originally that you did not take raw files? And he said, no. Well, he told Bob on Globebusters, when he went on Globebusters, he said, I wished we'd have got raw files. He said, because we would have got better imagery quality, right? He actually said that on Globebusters. And
Unorthodox. What the hell are you doing, dude? What's that noise?
I'm surveying some property.
Shit again. Come on. I should call the police.
I'm surveying property.
Surveying property?
Yeah, surveying property with your spray painting. What you're doing is illegal. Ass.
No,
I should call the police on you.
I'm surveying city property.
What are you talking about? What's illegal? All you can hear is some noise. How do you know what he's doing? You have no idea what he's doing.
It sounds like
you're hearing my vaporizer.
You're spray painting, just like you were last time.
You can maybe hear the survey wheel turning.
Why is spray painting illegal?
Like
I don't get it. What's illegal about spray painting?
It sounds like a marble in a can.
Yeah, you're
spray painting. So you're graffiti in a building right now, is that right?
Why would you
No, I'm surveying the city.
Right, so flick your camera on and show us what you're actually doing then.
Come on, dude.
There he is, shaking his
Yeah, you're spray painting.
Hold on.
Hold on, he's gonna put I hope he does. I hope he puts his camera on.
Why?
And shows that he's just doing something mundane. That, you know, this bugs me.
No, we're working for the city, surveying the streets, and we're assessing them, letting them know how good they are and how bad they are. Hopefully they'll pave the bad ones.
So just pop your camera on. You're on a phone, right? Just press the little phone button.
Right? Sorry, some patrons were.
He's probably spray
we're coming
painting
by.
right now that flat earthers are stupid, but that's okay because there's
Yeah,
a
that's
pretty
pretty
good
much it.
guarantee that he's actually spelling it wrong.
Well, I'm hoping he'll put
think
his
so?
camera on and
That's
prove you wrong,
stupid.
Arwin. We'll see.
Hey, hold on. Hold on just a second. I have to enable the camera. I got a pretty nice shirt on for you guys too.
I want to see you.
Yeah, you're not gonna do it.
I want to see you like spraying white on the ground in like a right angle or something that just shows you're doing something boring.
What he's doing now is he's moving all his other coloured aerosols so that they're not in the picture.
Hey, do you like the shirt?
Wow.
Lovely. It's nice.
Can you see the shirt?
Yeah, it's cool. I like it.
So do you want to show us what was making the noise?
Got a high vis on. You know,
Yeah.
So far, looks like it's panning out like he's doing something pretty boring.
I'm trying to switch
Just turn it
cameras
around.
here.
There you go. I
Right.
knew it.
There's the
Just
survey
doing something
wheel.
maintained.
right?
He's not spraying
No
flat earthers
way.
are geeks. He's
Yeah,
spraying a little
spray
spot on the
paint.
ground. I knew it.
Oh well, fair play for doing it, dude. Because most of you baller trolls don't do that. So
Yeah.
fair play.
Good kudos. Show
Yeah,
them
yeah.
how conspiratorial they're being. Just
So,
because
so
he
does that mean that Arwin owes an apology there? Then
does
No.
absolutely.
he does.
Yeah, Arwen, come on, man.
Come on, Arwin, you got it wrong.
Just because you're surveying doesn't mean you actually wouldn't do that.
Oh my God! You're gonna double down, you bastard,
What's
Arwin.
the chances of him
Just
having a
be a
trundle
man.
wheel
Just
while
say
he's
you were
spraying?
wrong.
Come on.
Just be
I
a
never
man,
denied
Arwin.
that he was a surveyor.
Come on, Arwin.
You-
Just say
number
you're sorry.
one, you threatened to call the police, right? The reason I'm drawing light to this is because of Slapgate. People hear a sound and assume the worst. You've just done it with this guy. I assume he's huffing drugs or doing something he shouldn't be, or
What?
graffitiing.
No, I was just assuming that he would probably spray paint flat earth is stupid, but that's
No.
okay because he'd probably spell it wrong.
Yeah, but you made it sound like you were graffitiing, right?
Yeah, or doing like baggies or whatever they do, and they huff fumes.
It's called a freaking joke, man.
That's
Get
a-
a-
Oh, now it's a joke. I love it. I love it. Just be a man and say I'm wrong. Go on.
I was making a freaking joke. Get over it.
Bollocks.
You sounded pretty
That's
serious,
total
Arwen.
lies. Oh, and you
Sounded pretty
weasel.
serious.
You weasel.
Yeah, that's a weasel. Oh.
I mean, that's a
Saying it
British
right
thing,
now.
though,
I was
right?
making a joke. I'm not.
Yeah,
gonna
right.
apologize
Didn't
for
sound like a
joking.
joke to me. You said you were
Arwin,
going to
I-
phone the police.
listen,
I didn't know you were telling a joke.
What Arwin doesn't realise here is it's not about the apology. It's just
Still
about
don't.
whether he'll
I'm
do it or not.
saying it right now.
Morning.
Yeah, but we don't believe you.
Well, Unorthodox got more kudos
That's
there
your
than anybody could expect.
Yeah, I work for a civil engineering firm, and we're surveying these city streets to make sure they confirm with the globe Earth.
No, you're not.
That's a lie.
You're measuring the amount of curvature, are you?
Yeah.
No, man, we're surveying to make sure that the Earth's curvature is just exactly what it's supposed to be according to the
Yeah.
scientific model.
Yeah,
At
don't
69
milk it
miles,
too
right?
much.
Sure.
Just because Arwin
And
lied.
so far, this little wheel is almost there. I'm almost got the full proof for you guys.
Ace. And the city's paying you for this, are they? Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah, my partner's working on the math back in the vehicle right now, so I can walk and mark off some sections and talk to you guys for a bit. But I don't know. I need to just give you guys up, man. You guys are like a guilty pleasure. You know, I dropped you once, but I came back. I couldn't help it.
Yep.
I
Just like a bitch.
do what?
Just like a
Arwen.
bitch.
What does that mean? Just like a
Arwen?
like you're
What
my
the hell?
bitch?
We're hurting you, and you keep coming back for more.
Come on,
because you're a
Arwen.
masochist.
So-
bitch.
so-
Tell the
in-
guy
in
you got
that-
it wrong. Come on.
So in that analogy, you guys are my bitch. And I
Only
keep
in
coming
your
back
mind.
to my bitch.
Only in your mind.
I just wonder
Yeah,
if
Arwen, what about my
Unorthodox
apology,
says,
man? Come on.
You're a masochist. You just said so. You could keep on coming back despite knowing you're going to be abused, and you love it because you're a bitch.
Hey, Arwin, hold on. This is how you do it. Hey, Unorthodox, I apologize because a few weeks ago you came in doing the same noise, and I thought you were huffing on spraying cans and doing like getting high on it. So I apologize. It was my bad. Sorry.
Nathan, just show that message that I've just put.
Fuck, dude.
And also, you guys are talking
problem?
smack that I'm not.
Why
an
can't I make a
engineer.
freaking joke without all of you whining to my face that I must apologize?
We're just seeing whether or not you
For
can
a
make
freaking joke. Get a
We-
freaking life, man.
We're just seeing if you can apologize if you get something
Yeah,
wrong.
I can apologize, and I have, and I'll do it when it's actually due. when I should. This was a freaking joke.
It's just a test,
Get over
Arwen. It's a test to see if you can be cool.
Yeah.
You failed the test, bro.
Yeah, he failed it. We still love you, Arwen, but come on, man. You just got to
Fuck
stay
you,
in
Riley.
No,
Come on,
don't
be
oh
a
man.
man.
This is a terrible reaction, Owen.
It is.
Well, I don't love you. And you don't even know what love is, man.
Oh,
No,
this
no,
is
this
a
isn't about
segue.
me.
You don't even know what love is.
No, I'm not talking to you.
I know, but that's just a funny statement. You don't even know what love is.
Come on,
What
Owen.
about
At this point in time, right? An Orthodox has literally just made you his bitch by turning his camera on.
Oh, he just
Oh, I
proved
can't believe I did
that
that,
he
man.
was actually doing what he said. And
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah,
Now you guys are gonna hunt me
You just
down.
say, "Fuck, I got it wrong, man. I'm sorry." That's it.
Just making a joke.
But you're still not going to do it.
Yeah,
Come on.
fair enough. We all know.
Oh, and you're gonna track my
Don't bite
location
yourself.
based on that video, and you're gonna call.
There's nothing I need to apologize for
We'll back
making
off.
a freaking
We'll back
joke.
off, Owen.
I literally
Everyone
said,
knows the
"Dude,
score.
he's
We don't need to
probably
labour the
great
point."
for thinking flat earthers are stupid, but it's okay because he misspelled it. That's a joke.
Yeah, that
He
bit is.
probably is doing something. Continued with doing it wrong. That's funny. It's a joke. Get over it.
Okay, it was a joke.
Well, I mean, dude, so many people are crazy, Arwen. I was kind of scared you were gonna call the cops for a second. I'm serious, man. People are nuts.
The worst thing is,
You
though,
never know what's gonna happen.
the worst thing is, though, unorthodox comes out of this smelling of roses.
He does.
Oh my god, I can't believe
shitty
it come out
imagination.
smelling like roses on the flat Earth debate, man.
And I've got to be honest, I hate supporting you on it as well. I wish you'd have been graffitiing.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Flat
I mean,
Earth scum.
I can write flat earthers are stupid if you want me to. I just need a different color paint so they won't.
Just
know.
write Arwen on the pavement and then just take a picture of it. That'd be great.
No, don't lose your job over this.
I need a different color paint though. I can't use my color paint.
You just need a lot of black. That's fine.
Yeah, a lot of black.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
90% of my entire appearance. I wear all
yeah?
black,
Oh, there's another mile on the wheel, and the wheel says, another
Just
8 inches
need
of curvature.
Other color
Another 8 inches of
hands and
curvature.
face, and you'll be all right.
Y'all hear me? I walked a full mile, and the wheel says 8 inches of curvature.
Really?
Amazing.
Debunked, bro.
I'm sold.
Well,
I'm sold.
because
I
it
take it all
says so,
back.
it must be true.
That's right. That's right. This is a measuring device,
Inanimate
right?
object tells you. It must be
does.
so.
It does.
So if you find a fortune cookie and it actually says, yeah, walk 5 miles that way, you've been over the curvature this much, you know it's true because you found it in a fortune cookie, right?
Pretty much.
Right.
Arwen, you're not gonna triangulate my location based on that video and call the cops, are you?
Flat earthers don't do stuff
I
like
don't
that.
need
It's
to
only
call the
ballers.
cops. You're not doing what I thought you could have been doing. So.
Well, you could still get them called out here. The other day where we parked in the
I
morning to
don't
get
call
ready.
the cops unless it's really necessary.
Well, that's good. The other day we parked in the morning where we meet, and then we're sitting there doing paperwork, and we look up and there's 3 cop cars surrounding us. And somebody called the cops on us. Said that we looked suspicious.
Well, you do.
Did he get you out of the car and pat you down?
No, they didn't. Man, it was so strange. I looked up, and there was one car going one way, one cop car going the other. Then one was turning around, and they all just were going so slow, so nonchalant. And then they all parked and just casually walked over there, just as casual as could be, and asked us what we were doing. And all they did was just look at our license real quick and run my plates, and they were gone.
Why?
Why
Why did you give him your license? Why did you talk to him at all?
Do what?
Why did you talk to him at all?
Why did I talk to him at all? Well, I mean, if not, it would just cause more problems.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I would imagine. I mean, I had my window rolled down
If you
anyways.
don't cooperate, you're pretty much screwed. So.
Really?
Yeah, it's very different as in England. And the
Yeah, I was going to say, in America, if you don't comply, they shoot you.
Nah, they don't
That's
shoot you, but
possibility.
they start to treat you very rough.
Well, I'm not black, so I probably wouldn't get.
No, they do it with everyone.
Yeah, they do it with everyone.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't know.
Immediately
What
start
would happen
filming.
if you didn't comply in England? They would just have to walk away if you weren't committing a
Well,
crime?
they call more backup and then try to close you in and ramble your head off until you surrender because you're sick of it.
Check out the
Oh,
chat.
really?
Gleam. They have guns. Oh, right. Well, then comply with everything they say, Gleam.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely got to watch out for that. They're trained to shoot. There was a story recently of this. It was a female cop, and she was going home in the evening, and she got off on the wrong floor. She got off on the fourth floor instead of the fifth floor, and walked in somebody else's apartment and shot the guy and killed him because she thought that he was in her apartment.
What? She
Yeah.
didn't actually recognize the interior?
No,
That's
I guess it was late at night. and
really
the lights were
freaking
kinda off.
stupid.
I know, isn't that crazy? Yeah, she got a.
No, the lights were off, and she saw his silhouette, so she just thought there was an intruder in her apartment. So
With a
it wasn't-
banana.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you still can't just shoot then. First, you have to actually identify.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
Could be
my example.
lost.
Is they're trained to just shoot like on sight, man. They're just
Yep.
they got hair triggers the way they're trained.
It's been like that for like 15 years now, that just police department heads have like changed the policy of the code of conduct of policemen to basically shoot first and ask questions later. Have a really aggressive approach, and it's extremely bad.
It is.
Yeah.
The overall image and the overall damage. But
Yeah,
they've
they
been
should
doing
definitely
it
have a
in
lot
the
more
US for some
non-lethal.
time.
Do they have guns in the Netherlands, Arwen? Do the cops have guns?
Rarely.
Barely.
Yeah, there is like service pistols, but it's only in extremely rare cases that police are actually allowed to even draw them.
Oh,
You
really?
have to have proof that somebody else is basically shooting at you or trying to stab you with a knife. Otherwise, you can't even draw your pistol.
You're not going to get shot for asking the officer what what law am I expected or am I
Ready?
accused of breaking?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
First question you should ask is, am I
That's
being
the first
detained?
question. You just ask questions and you be polite, but
Yeah.
otherwise and then you ask for is
Yeah.
that bad, but you be polite. You don't need to hand over ID
I'm
for
sure it
shit.
sucks.
When you do,
You
you're
should be asking, am I
into-
being arrested?
Correct.
Right.
Am I being
Am I being
detained?
detained?
That's
Am
the
I
most
being
important
arrested?
one.
Yeah,
Am I under arrest? Right.
precisely. And then
What
if
did
they
I
say
do?
no, then the next question should be, am I free to leave? And if they say
Yeah.
no, why am I being detained?
And you just have to be polite. Don't be like these assholes on the YouTube. Just to actually say, "Hey, officer, what exactly are do you conclude that I've what law has been broken?
Stay calm and
What are you
just
suspecting me of doing?"
stay calm and just use the rules that they have to go by. If you're gonna stay calm, nothing's really gonna happen. Don't
Yeah.
run, don't get all excited, and you'll probably not get hurt.
Just ask them, "Do I have the right to remain silent? Are you requiring me to incriminate myself?"
Yeah, that's good advice.
Very, extremely.
So
Sorry, what's your name? Flat Earth what?
vegan goy.
I'm flat Earth vegan guy. Yeah.
Flat Earth Vegan Goy.
Ah, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
Flat Earth Vegan Goy.
No offense,
What
but
a
that sounds
name.
like a really bad combo.
That's
It's,
sounds like
better.
you're definitively not Jewish.
Well, I don't think I'm Jewish, but you never know what the parents were. So
Well,
So,
Jews would
what's the
know.
Goy reference to, just to be blunt?
Goy
well,
is
goy is what the Jews call.
No, I know what Goy means, but why are you
Regardless-
referencing it, is my question.
It's regardless if you're white, black, Asian, anything else. If you're not a Jew, you're a goy or a goya, and it's not. It's a derogatory thing that they call people.
it's cattle.
Cattle.
So is it anti-Semitic in the respect that you're using it?
Well, Semitic has to do with Arabs, so most Jews are not Semitic to begin with.
Okay, my bad. My
Regional,
bad
it's
terminology.
regional.
Anti-Jew.
This is where it gets very political.
Well, I just want to know your motivation for using it.
Flat Earth Vegan, it's Travis. I don't know if you knew that it was
I
me.
know Travis. Or I know, yeah, Travis. It's Travis. Yeah, I think he's the trucker.
Flat Earth Trucker, yeah.
Yeah, I talked to you. We've been on the Mark Stevens show.
So what's a Gentile? Isn't a Gentile a non-Jewish person?
Yeah, the
That's a
Gentile.
goy.
Same thing, Gentile, goy. Gentile is maybe less derogatory than goy.
Exactly.
But even then, Gentiles just simply means a national ethnicity that's not Semitic or Jewish.
Right, the nation.
So when you get to the New Testament, the word for Gentile is just nation.
Right.
Ethnos.
Right.
But I was going to pipe up because I did get my car towed. I had an interaction with the policy officer. Peaceful interaction where I was asking all those questions, asking him to justify his stop, what crime I committed, and they stole my property.
Yeah, they did it to me too. They stole my property. I never got it back. But it still doesn't matter. You gotta at least try to stand for your rights, or whatever. You gotta stand for something. Don't just let people walk all over you.
Yep, I totally agree.
Yeah, that's why I highlighted the thing about the police. It's like people are so compliant, and that's partially that's why I think it is linked to Flat Earth, and I've let this conversation slide. I know there's a few comments in the chat saying, "Oh, this isn't very Flat Earth related." Well, it is. People's assumptions are what lead them, and half the time their assumptions aren't their own. They've been programmed with them, and one of the assumptions is that you must comply with what police ask you, and that's not the case. If you're being arrested, that's different. If you're not being arrested, then the police are virtually powerless. But people assume that if a policeman comes over and says, "Give me your driving licence, give me your identity," that they are somehow privileged and should be given that information. You don't even have to say anything to him. If you've ever been read the rights, which I have, you are first told and informed that you have the right to remain silent. That's if you're being arrested. So even if you are in their charge, you still have the right to remain silent. If someone copper comes over to you, you don't have to talk to them.
I don't know, Nathan. I think it differs slightly from country to country, because in the Netherlands, if you're driving a car, you must show your driver's license to the police if they just stop you.
Why don't
you must. If you don't, you're in big trouble.
Why don't you ask them where the evidence is that the laws and codes apply to you? Just ask them the evidence that the code applies to you. And when they start quoting the code, just say, "Well, that's nice, and I appreciate that, but where's the evidence that that code that you just quoted me that substantiates a code applies to me?" Just ask nicely. There is no evidence.
But they have a backup for that. In the Netherlands, if you're driving a car, then you are subjected, basically.
Yes, and where's the evidence that that's true?
In the law.
In the law? What's the law? You're talking the code?
Police will cite it. Yeah.
Yes, and where is that? So you're quoting the code, and I understand this vehicle code or whatever it is. Fine. Where is the evidence that that code actually applies to me? I know you have guns, you have mace, you have all these other things, but where is the evidence that it applies to me?
Well, I have a birth certificate, and I'm a registered Dutch citizen, so it does.
And how is that evidence?
Yeah, well, I could argue this and spend like a month going through this, and I'll end up in front of a judge, and I'll be wronged. So
well, that's so basically you just give up, and you say forget it.
I'd love to try, but it would be a complete waste of time, because everyone that pretty much tries fails.
No,
that's here specifically. I'm not talking about England or America, just here.
Yes.
I can't speak to that.
All I'm saying is that they got all these codes, and by the way, it's all a Freemasonic deal. All around the world, the entire planet is run by Masons, and that's the big key. So just ask them where it applies to you, where the code applies, how the code applies to you. It's not, you just ask them. You're not being rude. You're just trying to get some clarification. And if they continue to give you codes or whatever, that's fine. You let them haul you off to jail or whatever it is. But you're just politely asking how I'm standing here as a man on the planet or the plane or whatever it is, and how, because I'm in the Netherlands, that the Netherlands laws apply to me. I mean, is there a contract there somewhere? Where exactly is the evidence? So you're just being polite. Ask me just, where's the evidence? There isn't any.
Right. But it takes a lot of effort to get there. When I'm detained in my car, not that I am now, I have been some time ago, I'd prefer to just get it over with and keep on doing what I was doing, really.
Okay. Yeah, I know. It's that's what they said in Nazi Germany, which of course I don't believe the story of Nazi Germany.
Yeah, but I don't want to spend
Sure.
like
Yeah.
a quarter of all my living time just dealing with the freaking police. Oh,
I know. That's what people say. They don't want to deal with it, and so then the laws get tighter and tighter.
well, good luck with that.
Well, this is as much a control of your physical being in life, because there's often going to be times that you are just confronted by the law, in quotes, and you've got to understand what that actually means and where their powers lie, and moreover, where your powers lie. And if you're just conciliatory all the time, then as your flat earth vegan says, they'll just walk all over you. They'll tighten up the laws, and before you know it, we're living in a totalitarian state.
Well, if I'm not driving in a car, then
AP.
I will definitely not be subjected to the police. And I can pretty much refuse, because as long as I'm not driving a car, I'm basically only subjected to the law of the land. And the police knows that.
Do you in the Netherlands, do you have the right to remain silent?
Yes, you do.
Do you have the right not to incriminate yourself?
Yes, you do.
Then how exactly is it against the law for you to refuse to hand over ID?
It isn't. But if you are in a car, then it is.
Well, then you're saying that you don't have the right to remain silent, and you don't have the right not to incriminate
Not
yourself.
as long as you're a driver of a motorized vehicle.
So you're right. Oh, I see. So you only have rights depending on situations, and
That's
being
right.
in your
Not
own
right.
conveyance, you waive all these rights, is what you're saying?
That's right.
That's incorrect,
Okay.
Darwin. I'm certain that won't be the case.
Unfortunately, it is.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll
in
have
It
to
the
check.
doesn't make any
States-
damn sense
I'll
that
check.
it
In
is,
the
but that's
States.
how it is here.
Okay, in the
Okay.
States, up until the Jewish takeover in 1913 with the Federal Reserve, their Supreme Court law or Supreme Court showed that Americans had a right to travel by automobile in a private automobile because it's your own property and you have a right to travel. Now, once we were taken over, these rights were replaced with codes. We didn't have codes before 1938, I believe it is, and now you can't quote Supreme Court prior to 1938. So it's all changed, but it's all based on fraud. There's no money. The Federal Reserve issues notes.
And this is terrible advice. Why are you giving terrible advice to people? Like, you should
All
just
right, Agent
comply.
Smith. Okay, Agent Smith, take a back seat here. Arwen, my question to you, Arwen, would be:
I'm not an agent.
what proof or evidence do you have that you have
This
lost
guy's a
your
disinfo
right?
agent.
Oh, hold on.
What proof or evidence do you have that you lose the right to remain silent simply because you're driving in your car? If you say that that's true, can you justify that, or is that just something that you believe?
I actually tried it. It didn't work. It just pretty much robbed me of an hour. Because he's just gonna like wait until you do. And he's gonna be very annoyed.
Hey,
And he's gonna
Space.
call in more cops. For more peer pressure. And
Exactly.
maybe if I spent like indeed 3 hours or something just sitting there doing nothing, waiting until they went away, then it could have worked. But
And
I had
maybe
better things to do right now.
The best, exactly, Arwen. Use your common sense. The best advice is just to comply and move it along. Like, why do you want to spend your whole life in court? It's like this guy is going to get you thrown in jail if you
What
follow this
the
stupid
hell
ass
am
advice.
I hearing?
I'm not giving it. I'm not
best
giving it.
advice
Yes, you are.
is
You're
just
just
comply.
You're wasting people's time. This is
I'd
terrible.
like-
This is stupid. You're an
Yeah,
idiot.
absolutely.
I can't
If
believe I'm
everybody-
hearing this,
If
Pete.
everybody so-called wasted the racketeers' time, the ones with the guns, then we wouldn't be in the situation we are.
That's not even true.
It's absolutely true.
It's not true. You're just BS.
What you have,
The
what you
big
have,
difference is
what you have is
ridiculous.
practically
You're an
and
idiot.
tactically.
Grow up, dude.
There's a big difference
Calm down,
practically and
Pete.
tactically, and that is
Before-
if you are a pedestrian, then they literally cannot stop you. But if you're in a car, then they can stop your vehicle from moving by just
So-
blocking it, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's that simple.
Arwen is correct.
I honestly can't believe my ears, if I'm honest, P. The
Well,
best
it's
advice
sad.
is just to
It's just
comply.
pitiful.
You've got to be joking. Then, you know, okay? Then you're basically... I don't know what word to use for that attitude.
Kowtow. Coward.
Yeah,
Bending over.
Yeah.
that's
You
it.
stick it in.
I got better things to do with my life
Yes,
than
you do.
being
And
all triggered about the state of affairs.
That's
of
what,
the world.
and that's what everybody says. What those cops are out doing is stealing your money at gunpoint.
No,
with
they're
no
not stealing
evidence
my
of your
money.
jurisdiction. Yes, they are.
Absolutely not. No,
They
they're
are.
just stealing my time. They can't steal
No,
my money
you-
unless
you
I
sign
actually
the-
did something.
You sign the ticket, and you've
What
given them money.
ticket? I'm not talking about
If
a
they
ticket.
give you a ticket.
I'm not talking about a ticket. I'm just talking about being pulled over for no good reason.
Can I say this is appeal to authority, no questions asked?
Absolutely,
his
that's
take.
what it is. Yeah.
You guys are ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's not going to do you any good arguing with police about giving them your ID and stuff like that. It's
Right.
It's
That's
totally
what
a
the
waste of
cowards
time.
say. Yeah, that's
I'm
what
not
the
a
cowards
coward.
say.
You're a freaking
Yes, you are.
coward.
Asking
really?
Yeah, right.
questions.
Say that to my
Just
face,
calm
buddy.
down, P. This was
You're
a
a coward.
fairly calm
Yeah,
conversation
right.
before
I'd
you got
fucking
here.
take you out, boy.
Just keep
Oh,
calm.
Who cares?
Asking questions is not engaging in an argument, B.
That's right.
No, this is BS. This is like freedom to fascism crap where they tell you, oh, you don't have to pay your taxes. It's not even true.
No.
It's not
Show
what
me
we're doing.
evidence
You
that you have to pay
See, Look at
taxes.
this guy. This guy's full of it.
I'm just
gonna get
asking
people
for
thrown in
evidence.
prison. You're gonna get people thrown in prison for no
Are you-
reason, dude.
Are you paying your Mason dues every month?
Holy crap, dude. You're the freaking Mason. The flat Earth. Mark Sargent's a Mason. What are
Okay,
you talking about? The
let me
flat
ask you a
Earth is
question.
brought to us by
Hold on,
Masons.
P.
Don't go
P.
there.
Let me ask you a
Ro-
quick
is
question.
that Samuel
Hold on.
Rowe?
Calm down a
Fucking
second.
Mason.
P. I just want to ask you a quick question. Why has this got you so annoyed?
Because this is terrible advice, and if people listen to this, they're gonna get
Okay, no
have
problem.
a lot
I
more
can sort that
problems
out.
in their
No problem,
life for
P.
no
I
reason.
can deal with that.
That's their
Right,
choice.
we offer...
This guy's an
P,
agent.
calm down. Right, we offer no advice.
Screw you,
We are
buddy.
just... Oh my God. Am I going to have to kick you out because you are that triggered about this subject? Really?
I'm pretty pissed off. Yeah.
Well, don't be.
Yeah. Well, the agents get pissed off. The Masons get pissed off because they're
I'm
in
not a
doing their
Mason.
little
You're a
job.
freaking Mason, dude.
Uh-huh. You're the one telling everyone to bend over for the Mason cops. All the cops are Masons.
I'm giving
Right,
people
you're
good
telling
advice.
them
You're
to
giving
basically
people-
sacrifice their time
Arwen's right.
for no good reason at all.
Absolutely.
Well, good luck with that. I think that a lot of people have
They're-
something
they're
better to
wasting-
do with their life. Really.
Why do
They're
you want to
wasting
waste
my
people's
time. They're wasting my time. They're the ones
Right.
that pulled me over for no good
Well,
reason.
that's great. You're never going to get that time back, though.
What are you talking about, Arwen? If someone comes
Society
along and
has
demands...
laws,
Not to
buddy.
If someone
cooperate
comes
with that
along
kind of
and
switch
demands
it
your
in.
wallet, let's take
You're
the
still
police
going to
out.
lose the time.
Oh
so-
God,
and
you're
not
really
getting it
triggered
back.
about this, aren't you? So if someone comes along and demands your wallet at gunpoint, now are you going to be that person that fights back? Clearly not. Well, he's got a gun,
Ridiculous.
therefore
what
I
kind
must
of comparison
comply.
Is that?
Oh, right.
That's
So
what they
triggered
do.
I can't
They
even get to the end of
stop
my
you and here,
sentence.
Let me see your wallet. That's what
It
they're
doesn't
doing.
do any good to fight back. You're just wasting your
Oh,
own
it
time.
doesn't
Oh,
do
really?
any good. It
Oh,
doesn't
really?
do
Yeah.
That's not
anything.
true. Oh, okay, P. Well, you're a coward. You're a coward.
Crybaby. Crybaby.
Right.
Not a crybaby. I've been mugged at knife point
I'm a
on plenty of
crybaby,
times.
giving people
Oh, right,
bad
you're just going to
advice.
babble all over me. I've been mugged at knife point on a couple of occasions. And I fought back.
I've
So I'm
been
not a
robbed at
coward.
gunpoint.
Yeah,
Good
I'm
for
not
you.
a coward. And someone who says just because I've got a sharp object, okay, well, at the time I was very young and stupid, but I fought back. And the same applies now when someone says, I am the law. Oh, really? Well, what have I done wrong? What law have I broken? Oh, well, you haven't broken any law. Well, then I don't have to do anything you say just because you say it. You're just a man telling me to do something if I've not broken a law. But you think, oh, right, he's a man telling me to do something, I must bend over. No, you don't bend over.
That's
You're
your
supposed to-
choice.
You're supposed to pick and choose your battles, and it's not a good battle to sit and
Well,
have with an officer. It's going to do no good. It's not going to change the
In
system.
the
Like, give me a
military,
break. You're just
All
giving
right,
people
okay.
terrible advice.
P.
No,
Mars.
but you
P.
don't
Mars,
understand
give
the
us
system.
an example
the
of a battle
system has
that's worth
rules,
fighting.
P. The system has rules, and most of the time, the police you deal with on the street don't know those rules. Now, if they break those rules, there are consequences for them as much as you. If they don't understand that, that can become their problem if they break the rules, i.e. if they falsely imprison you.
We're not talking about that type of example.
Really? What's false?
Yeah,
Hold on. What's false imprisonment, Arwin?
That's a lot of steps further ahead.
No, it's not.
Scenario that was presented.
Wrong. You just don't understand what you're talking about. If that's
right.
Oh, am I not going to get to explain something that you've asserted? You've not provided any evidence for any of your assertions thus far.
Well, neither of you, really. So.
Oh, right, okay. So, Arwin, you feel that my question originally was, why wouldn't you just ask, why are you being detained? That question's important, because if they have no right to detain you, and they do it anyway, then they can be prosecuted, Arwin, because they are in the wrong.
Cool.
Right, so it seems important, rather than just let them bend you over and rape you, say, why am I being detained? Am I under arrest? Am I free to leave if I'm not under arrest? And if the answer to those questions are, no, you're not under arrest, no, I'm not detaining you, no, you're not free to leave, then they have falsely imprisoned you.
But they don't even have to say you're not being detained. They're
Well,
just
they
going to
do if you
stand in
ask.
front of your car.
Owen, that's our point. You just say, don't waste time. We say, no, ask a couple of questions politely. And you might find that they've got no reason to stop you. They've got no reason to talk to you. And by talking to you, they're actually breaking a few rules. Laws even, Arwin, surprisingly.
That's right. I tried. Didn't really help.
This guy doesn't even know the law. He doesn't know the law. That's the problem.
I know the Constitution.
Don't know the law.
I know the oaths.
Yeah, but you don't know. You don't understand what you're talking about. You're giving people terrible legal advice because you're giving people bad legal advice.
Let me bring it back to
anybody advice.
P Mars. You made the statement to choose your battles. So my question to you is, what battle would you say is worth stepping up to the plate for?
Go look up Corinne Gaines. She's a black woman who was doing the same stupid traffic stop stuff, and she got murdered by the police. So,
okay,
good luck to you following this terrible legal advice from this guy who's not a lawyer, and he's a, whatever.
P-Mars, my question to you, P-Mars, my question to you was, what battles would you suggest are worth stepping up to the plate for?
None.
You said to choose your battles. Pick your battles, guys. Pick your battles. Let this one go. Okay, so P Mars, which one would you step up to the plate for? Hello?
P Mars, do you go into the prison with a shirt that says please use soap?
Ridiculous.
You don't know the law, buddy. Stop giving legal advice. You're gonna get.
Why can't you answer the question, P Mars? Answer the question.
You're
I know Title 42,
you don't know anything.
1983. I know Title 18, 241, 242. I know about deprivation of rights under color of law.
420.
I know what treason is. I know violation of an oath is.
I like to smoke weed and give people legal advice, and I don't know what I'm talking about. Follow my advice. I'm not even a lawyer. I just play one on YouTube.
You're not actually answering the question.
The Jews took over the USA and the Federal Reserve.
Pete, why don't you just give an example?
You just rumpusing
and
causing disruption.
Us to pick your
Arwin,
battle,
can you
so
stop talking as well? I'm trying to take control of the hangout.
I'm a lawyer on YouTube.
Hello? P, this keeps descending because of you. So you're just rumpusing the hangout, saying and making stupid mimicry rather than letting anybody speak. And you haven't answered the question. So at what point do you say the battle is worth fighting?
I'd fight the battle of the fake lawyer on YouTube who thinks the Jews and the Freemasons control the world, and he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, and he's giving bad advice. I would pick a battle with this person, and I would fight that person.
Stop wasting our time and just give your example.
People bad legal advice, and he's going to get people thrown.
I'm going to kick you if you don't give an example right now. Stop wasting our time.
By the way, before the Jews took over, this was real money.
Give me a break. The Jews didn't even take over. Where's your evidence? Where's your evidence that the Jews took over?
Who's Mr. Rothschild? Who's the Rothschild family? Who are the Rothschilds?
He's a banker.
Who are the Rothschilds? The Rothschilds are at the top of the pyramid. It's NASA.
It's a banker.
NASA took over. NASA controls the whole
Rothschild is a
world.
Jewish banker.
You're trying to spread
he
disinfo.
happens to
We
be
know
Jewish, but
NASA's
it's
at the
mostly
top.
about the family.
Oh, and
So-
hold on a second. I just want P and Flat Earth Vegan to have it out on this subject. Hopefully, P will let it be a reasonable
Oh, he's a
conversation.
vegan too? So he's pushing Agenda 21. So you're pushing Agenda 21, huh, buddy? With your vegan BS too.
How
That's
is that
great.
Agenda 21?
Because
Oh,
Agenda
I'm in.
21 wants to revert Americans back to the status of peasants when they couldn't afford to buy meat. And Agenda 21, it says none of the peasants are going to be allowed to eat meat. It'll just be reserved for the elite.
That's not
Just
what
like in the
vegan is.
past.
A vegan is by own
Peasants
volition.
Oh, read Agenda 21, buddy. You like to read, huh?
Oh, so flat Earth vegan goy is
Freemasons are
forced
top. Give
to
me a
eat
break.
vegan?
This
I
guy,
don't think
this
so. I
guy's
think
a
that he's basically
disbeliever.
doing it out of his own choice.
This guy's an agent.
Wow, talking nonsense, dude.
Wow. Someone, we got one that can see.
Listen to this guy.
Wow.
So upset.
I think P is another one of his Fey moods or something.
No, this guy is
Yeah, you-
lying. This guy's a liar.
Okay,
You
you're
don't
not having a
even know
reasonable
who he
conversation again. You're just spouting liar and shouting a lot, P. You know,
Isn't that what we call ad hominem?
indeed. I was
more
hoping
like
P could have a
trolling.
reasonable conversation about it.
What
You
ad
were asked,
hominem?
was it the
You don't
who the
even
Roth?
provide any evidence for
Oh
any of your
God,
claims.
you can't
buddy.
literally even let me finish a sentence. You were asked who the Rothschilds were. I know you know the answer.
So what?
Silence.
Everyone knows who the Rothschilds are.
Right, who are the Rothschilds, P?
The people that own the banks.
They also own the Federal Reserve, just in case you're interested.
I know that.
Well, they took over in 1913. Before that time, this was real money. This is a certificate. What you play around with are called notes, and notes are IOUs.
Moron. Do you realize that
Listen
they
to
could
the ad
P,
hominem.
P,
Listen,
P,
sir,
P,
listen.
P,
You realize the
hello,
Rothschilds-
P. We heard your little rant about Agenda 21. This guy's got 10 seconds into it, and you're so triggered you can't let him finish his sentence. One last
He's trying
chance,
to say-
P.
Here, let
P,
me say it. He's
P,
trying to-
one last chance. Let him finish his sentence. There's no need to be this triggered.
So he's talking about how when money was backed by gold, it was real, but the Rothschilds controlled the price of gold. They didn't need to switch to a fiat currency. They manipulated the price of gold. So gold isn't like it's not real money. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's backed by gold and silver or whatever.
It's not. It's not.
Fiat
It's a
currency
fiat
is the
currency.
same thing. I know, but it doesn't matter. Like he's trying to act like when it's backed by gold and silver, it's real, and when it's fiat, it's fake. They controlled the price of gold. The Rothschilds manipulated the price of gold. It doesn't matter what your money's backed by. These people manipulate money. They don't.
Yeah, it does because
It doesn't.
No, hold on. If it's backed by gold, then there is actually a limited amount that you can produce, and with a fiat, there is no limit to the amount of money you can print. That's the difference. When it's backed by something, it means that the note actually represents a material thing. And it's not, because fiat is basically pure debt. It can be any amount, and it doesn't have any relation to any material wealth.
And it
That's
can
the
never
difference.
be paid. The fiat can never be paid back either because of the interest. It continually will go up and can never be exhausted.
That's
because it's owed to a private institute.
That's the
Because
scam that
of
Alex Jones pushes. This change all your money
this
into
guy's
gold. That's a scam.
Switching everything.
Scam
around.
artist. You're a con artist. God, you are such an agent, bro.
P, you're doing it again.
You're just a-
P,
I'm not
P.
I'm not your bro. I'm not your bro.
I think we can think through the scenario that you brought up, P, if the Rothschilds were controlling the price of gold and they looked at another aspect in which they could make more profit by changing to the Federal Reserve, that's what they're going to do, because they're in a situation now where it's out of control and the percentages of being paid back is impossible. So they're making more money. So all they did was simply switch the shell game. They just switched the game.
Right. And besides, I don't think that the Rothschilds directly even are involved in gold in that way. They may use it for themselves as a reserve, but it's like JP Morgan is well known to be manipulating the silver market. They actually control that market. That's not the Rothschilds. It's a company.
No,
Rothschilds just have a hand in all the big organizations, so they can basically push a direction. That's how they do. They are not the owners of the gold.
Yeah, well, actually they are, because when you print the money, you own the corporations. So they do own all the corporations.
The debt is owed to the Federal Reserve, but that's not gold. That's just debt.
Are we still live?
There's
Yes,
no.
we are.
Yeah.
Still live, Nathan?
Yeah.
You said you're having a 10-minute break in a minute or so? Or?
Say again, Spurs. You're a bit quiet.
You having a break in a minute or so? Or?
Yeah, maybe a couple of minutes. I'm just waiting for a nice cap to round out on.
All right, I'll kick off in the next show.
I guess you found it. He just broke in.
Hey, Flatter, vegan. Were you the one that said that the Rothschilds took over in 1913?
Yeah.
And so, are you referring to the Federal Reserve when it was enacted?
Yeah, the Federal Reserve was enacted in Jekyll Island, Georgia, November something in 1910.
Christmas.
And then 2 days before Christmas in 1913 was when it was enacted. And then 20 years later, it was bankrupted, and the United States is still in bankruptcy today.
And with that, I'm going to say first and foremost, a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the live audience for tuning in and hopefully sharing this debate. And of course, a massive thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible. If you hated the show, then you know exactly what to do. You've probably done it already. But if you like the show, maybe consider sharing it with a friend or subscribing if you've not done so already. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!